Your privacy has always been important to me, and I would never say something that you didn't say. But I know that if you look at me, then clearly the world will know that you've already had the forbidden.
The phone call that shook daytime television began in the most unexpected way. There was no formal announcement, no carefully written press release, and no polite explanation from network executives. Instead, it reportedly started with a short and blunt message that left people stunned. The words were simple but harsh. "You're fired, Sherri." According to insiders, the message came without warning. One moment everything seemed normal, and the next moment the future of Sherri Shepherd and her daytime talk show had completely changed. Those close to the production later claimed that Sherri stared at her phone in disbelief, while staff members behind the scenes rushed around trying to understand what had just happened. It felt less like a normal business decision and more like a sudden emergency. Within minutes, rumors started spreading. Word leaked out to reporters, bloggers, and industry insiders. People began calling each other, asking questions and trying to confirm the story. By the end of the day, the news had reached social media, and fans were shocked. The strangest part was that Sherri's show did not appear to be failing. There had been no major scandals attached to it, and it was not suffering from terrible ratings. From the outside, everything looked stable. Viewers were still tuning in, guests were still appearing, and the show seemed to be running like any other daytime program. That is why the sudden cancellation confused so many people. Usually when a network ends a show, there are clear warning signs. Ratings drop. Advertisers pull back. The public loses interest. But none of those signs seemed obvious here. Because of that, the internet quickly began asking one big question: what really happened? First, nobody had an answer. The network stayed silent. Sherri herself did not immediately respond. For a short time, the story looked like it might fade away like many other entertainment industry disputes. But then whispers started spreading behind the scenes. People inside the television world began sending private messages and talking in group chats. A few producers reportedly contacted journalists quietly, hinting that the situation might be more complicated than it appeared. Soon, a rumor began circulating that the firing had nothing to do with ratings at all. Instead, it might have been connected to something Sherri had said on air. That rumor alone was enough to spark curiosity, but the situation truly exploded when comedian Katt Williams suddenly entered the conversation. Katt Williams has built a reputation for speaking openly about the entertainment industry. Over the years, he has often criticized Hollywood politics and claimed that many things happen behind the scenes that the public never sees. So when he heard about Sherri's firing, he did not stay quiet. During a comedy performance in Atlanta, Katt reportedly paused in the middle of his set and addressed the situation directly. The audience expected a joke, but what he said sounded more like a serious statement. "They didn't fire Sherri because she failed," he told the crowd. Then he paused. "They fired her because she stopped playing the game." Those words immediately caught people's attention. Several audience members had already taken out their phones, and within minutes clips of the moment were circulating across social media platforms. The video spread quickly. On Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, fans began sharing the clip and debating what Katt might have meant. Some people believed he was simply being dramatic for the sake of comedy. Others thought he was hinting at something much deeper. As the conversation grew louder online, people started looking back at recent episodes of Sherri's show. That is when many viewers noticed a moment that suddenly seemed far more important than it had at first. Not long before the cancellation announcement, Sherri had discussed model and television personality Tyra Banks on her show. During that segment, Sherri defended Tyra passionately while talking about the pressure celebrities face behind the scenes. At one point, she became emotional and even appeared to tear up while explaining how difficult the entertainment industry can be. At the time, many viewers simply saw it as a heartfelt moment. Talk show hosts often share personal opinions about celebrities and trending topics. Nothing about it seemed shocking, but after Sherri's firing, people began looking at that conversation differently. According to one anonymous insider who claimed to work on the production team, executives inside the network reacted strongly to something Sherri said during that segment. While defending Tyra, Sherri reportedly made a comment that caught the attention of producers watching the broadcast. She said that many viewers do not understand what really happens behind closed doors in the entertainment business. The audience in the studio applauded politely when she said it, but backstage the reaction was very different. One producer reportedly whispered to another that Sherri had gone off script. That phrase became a major talking point later because talk shows usually follow a carefully planned structure. Topics, questions, and even jokes are often reviewed in advance by producers and legal teams. When a host suddenly speaks freely without following that plan, it can make executives nervous. According to insiders, Sherri continued talking about the pressure celebrities face from networks, fans, and executives. She said that public figures are sometimes expected to create drama to keep the entertainment machine running. To many viewers, the statement sounded philosophical, but some executives reportedly worried that she was hinting at something controversial about the industry itself. After the episode finished recording, phones inside the network offices reportedly began ringing almost immediately. Within half an hour, a meeting was scheduled with senior staff. The subject line of the message, according to one production assistant, was simple: emergency discussion. Later that day, several producers gathered in a conference room where executives replayed the segment again and again. Each time they watched it, the atmosphere reportedly grew more uncomfortable. Some believed Sherri had crossed a line by implying that the industry pressures hosts to behave in certain ways. That evening, Sherri received a request to attend a private meeting the following morning. When she arrived at the studio the next day, the mood felt strange. Staff members were unusually quiet. Some people avoided eye contact. Others whispered to each other in hallways. According to a hairstylist who later shared the story with a friend, Sherri walked into the dressing room and asked a simple question. "Why does everyone look so nervous today?" Nobody answered. Soon after, she entered a meeting room where several executives were waiting. What happened inside that meeting later became the subject of intense speculation. One insider claimed the conversation began calmly. An executive asked whether Sherri had intended to criticize the entertainment industry during the previous day's episode. Sherri reportedly replied that she had simply been speaking honestly. That answer, according to the insider, changed the tone of the meeting immediately. Another executive warned her that viewers might misunderstand comments like that, but Sherri allegedly pushed back, asking whether people were really expected to pretend the pressure in the industry did not exist. At that point, the discussion reportedly became heated. One executive allegedly told her she needed to be more careful about her public statements. Sherri responded with a bold remark that later became widely repeated in rumors. "If you want a puppet," she reportedly said, "you hired the wrong person." After that moment, the room reportedly fell silent. According to the story circulating online, one executive then placed a phone on the table and said that the conversation was being recorded. If that claim is true, it means an audio record of the entire meeting might exist somewhere. And that possibility led to even more speculation. A few hours later, rumors began spreading that someone inside the building might have copied the recording. The network's legal team reportedly became concerned that the audio could leak online. Late that night, a mysterious social media account posted a cryptic message hinting that the meeting had been recorded. At first, many people dismissed it as a joke. But then Katt Williams' comments about a tape suddenly seemed more serious. Within days, the story had turned into a full internet mystery. Fans debated whether Sherri had been punished for speaking openly about the entertainment business, or whether there were other reasons behind the cancellation. Some viewers supported her strongly, arguing that talk show hosts should be allowed to express honest opinions. Others believed the situation might be more complicated than the rumors suggested. Meanwhile, Sherri remained mostly quiet. Finally, she appeared in a short video message recorded at home. She did not directly discuss the alleged meeting or the rumors about recordings. Instead, she spoke calmly about her career and the importance of staying positive. She said she had spent many years trying to make people laugh and feel encouraged. Then she added a line that quickly spread across social media. "Sometimes losing a platform just means it's time to build a bigger one." Fans applauded her confidence, sharing the video widely and sending supportive messages. Even so, many questions remain unanswered. People still wonder whether the cancellation was simply a business decision or part of a larger conflict behind the scenes. If recordings from that meeting really exist, they could reveal the truth about what happened. Until then, the story continues to grow, fueled by speculation, leaked claims, and comments from figures like Katt Williams. What began as a simple announcement about a canceled show has now turned into a much larger debate about power, honesty, and the hidden rules of the entertainment industry. And for many observers, the biggest question remains the same. Was Sherri Shepherd fired for ratings or for telling the truth?